Whew. Hey, so this one's gonna be straight from my bathroom because something happened last night, okay? So basically, we got our car towed. So I was on the phone the whole time, and my husband was driving. He was dropping off two people. Anyway, anyway, they he ends up getting to his destination to drop off the friends, okay? And then he said, like, the police had followed him, like, kind of like a few blocks from a stop sign. They were going, they were going opposite ways of each other, but as soon as they saw our car, they turned around real quick, started following him, and then as soon as he parked, got out, they decided to turn their lights on and was like, "Oh, you're pulled over. Stay in the car. Stay in the car." So anyway, he's all confused, like, "What? Now you guys are deciding to pull me over, like, after I get out of the car?" Okay. So they're like, hands on the gun. Stay in the car, stay in the car. So I guess he gets back in the car. He called me by this time and was like, "I got pulled over." So I'm like, okay. So I'm just listening to everything that's going on. So, first the cop is like, "Oh yeah, we pulled you over because your tail light is out, a brake light, whatever is out." Then they say that they pulled him over because of the tint also is too dark, and then also there was no front plate. Okay, so then apparently since they couldn't run our plate, and they're not even supposed to stop us, they decided to come up with those reasons. So, our VIN number on the front, like by the windshield, is blocked off. It's covered. But we didn't cover the one that's inside of the door when you open the door. So apparently the police had opened the door, because I guess, they had gone back inside, closed the door. They opened the door and they took a picture of the VIN number. So, the VIN number is still tied to the California license plate. So they saw that the registration was out, yada, yada, yada. He gave his name, no license, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So now that gives them, oh yeah, now we got him, right? So they're like, "Okay, we're going to tow your car." Bae's trying to plead in with them, like, "Oh yeah, I got a family, this, that, and the other." They don't care. So I'm on the phone like, "Dude, I'm about to have a baby." Like, they don't care. So they're just like, "We're going to tow the car, blah, 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 whatever." So, and then for these other reasons, we're going to give you a ticket too. Okay. So, apparently this whole time, while this was going on, cop car after cop car after cop car after cop car comes up to this particular situation. And they're asking my husband questions like, "Oh, what's this line about?" Because that's our family crest, so to speak. That's our Jones fam thing that we had on the plate. We have merch, and they had but then one of his friends had a lion on his back of his jacket. It wasn't ours, but he just had a lion on the back of his jacket. So the cop is trying to, put two and two together and act like there's some sort of gang activity going on, right? Something associated with this lion. So we're just like, or Bae's just like, "No, like, that's our family brand, and I don't know, he's just got a lion on his back, like, that's just my friend." So the police is like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." So then, as cop car comes after cop car, I hear it getting louder and louder. Like, so now there's hella people out there because he goes out and, he's a part of the community because he goes out and sells medicine to everybody. So everybody knows him, like, in this area. So it's like, kind of like, oh, now the police are messing with, my dude, right? So everybody's like, recording and whatnot and calling people out. The police are like searching the car by this time, going through everything, like, and I'm just praying that they don't plant anything and that, the situation doesn't get out of hand to where they, like, take him to jail or anything like that, or worse, right? So I'm like, I was on the phone for like almost 2 hours just listening, and people are like telling me what's going on. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, it sounded okay at first, but then it was like, okay, I had to come to grips that they're going to take the car. But then I heard my husband talking about, I didn't do anything. So I'm like, oh my God, please. Just, So I'm freaking out a little bit out here at home with the kids. And I'm just like, oh my God, what's going on? So, but by this time, apparently there's 12 cop cars lined up around the block. Like, just giving my husband a hard time. So, they take hella long to write this ticket out, right? The tow truck is here, but then they gave my husband like 5 minutes to get everything out the car that he needed. And my husband's like, really? So he's like going through the car, getting all this stuff, asking me what else we need out the car. I'm trying to tell him what else we need. Apparently there's a police behind him with a flashlight just like watching his every move, because they really were trying to find something in that car, a gun, like drugs, whatever. They were trying to find something. So he's like, why are you all up on me? I'm just trying to get my stuff. And she's like, oh, I'm just watching. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, they were really tripping out here last night. It was like 7 or something like that just started. And anyway, so they're just doing the most. We're trying to explain to them what the license plate that we have is on there for. They're not trying to hear it. They don't care, because the VIN number was still associated with that plate. So they're like, oh, okay, what they're doing is not legit. So I'm just like, okay. First of all, they shouldn't even open the door. Number one, that's trespass. If it's just a traffic stop, number one. Number two, everything else after that, null and void, because the initial infraction, trespassing on private property. Now, I will say, this whole thing wrapped up, we weren't able to get the car seats, but we got all this other important stuff out the car before they took it, right? Okay, so I'm glad that my husband's safe, sound, and, alive. And here, back at the house, he's got all the little stuff out the car. So everything's good there. Okay, cool. Whatever. The car's gone, but we're all still alive. So that's great, right? I try to look at the positive side of things, instead of just, at least nowadays, like, honestly, I wasn't as mad or like frustrated as I thought I was going to be, like, if this were to happen, right? Just because, I don't know, learning new information and realizing that these people out here are just people. They're just doing their job. And at the same time, there's a lot of people that do go on power trips and, act like, they're just above other people. And that's really not how it is. We're all human, so we can't just rule over each other. So, I have like a different perspective about it. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, my first thought was, how can we get another car? Just because I'm just like, well, okay, that's gone. How are we going to get another one? I mean, we could get that one out, which I will work on. But that was just my initial thought. And then it was like, okay, well, what did we actually, because I still am going to do the private, everything again, and then perfect it on this truck. But what did we do wrong? Because apparently we did something wrong, right? And so because the VIN number was associated with the license plate still, that's where we messed up at. We didn't actually turn in that license plate, get a receipt, and proof that we no longer are contracting with the DMV in that way. So, coincidentally, Bad Wolf actually has a video about that, and it was uploaded a day ago. So I spent most of the day today actually listening to that video, and I'm just like, oh my God. So I'm checking off the things that we did, and then I'm like, that's what we didn't do. So I'm like, okay. So I'm not I'm a little bit like, bummed just because I can't go outside and have my moment to myself. I gotta kind of like do this in the bathroom now. I think I am gonna go outside to the park that's right there, so I don't have to walk far, and to just get some peace and quiet, alone time. But just a quick update for today. So anyway, hold on. So anyway, that's basically what happened. After everything was said and done, we got badge numbers, we got last names, we got videos of everything that was going on. They were out there like laughing and mocking at my husband, and whoever else was out there defending him and themselves, because there was an undercover cop there too. Anyway, apparently there's an undercover cop there too. And it just felt like, honestly, I feel like they were watching our car for a while now. There's apparently an undercover cop living on this street. I don't know why it's like so active around here, but anyway, I feel like they've been watching our car for a while and was trying to just like pull us over for something, because they already know that they couldn't pull us over because of the plate that we already have, which is lawful and legal. So it's kind of like they were trying to nitpick at something. So us driving at night, it's more apparent that our taillight was out, the brake light. So it's kind of like, okay. And I guess front plate and the tent, they were just making up shit as they went along, because the last thing they had said was about the registration. That was only after they got the picture of the van. So everything else was kind of like ticket worthy, not impound worthy. So it's kind of like, so I feel like they were watching the car this whole time, and I feel like because just of how everything went down, it was like they were really trying to make it seem like there was gang activity, there was drug probably activity, he probably had weapons and shit. They were hella searching, like acting like they were taking inventory of the stuff in the car. And I'm just like, they don't take inventory before they tow it. Don't they take inventory at the tow yard when they start bagging that shit up in the blue bag? It kind of sounded weird to me. So I'm just like, I hope they don't plant anything. Like, take inventory. Like, I feel like they were really hella searching really hard to find something like. And then one of the officers, first of all, when we were kind of like trying to convince them not to impound the car, the guy was the sergeant. Apparently, he compared the situation to my husband stabbing somebody. And I'm just like, first of all, there's no injured party. Like, there's no victim. Why are you comparing this to someone who's been stabbed? Like, what are you talking about? Like, he was really trying to like reach there, and then apparently one of the cops was like, "Oh, I'm getting a promotion." Like, off of impounding a car with the freaking expired tag. Like, you're gonna get a promotion off of that? Okay. So I feel like it was one of those things where our truck was just kind of like marked, and they were really trying to take it down for some reason, like really trying to act like there was something going on, but there wasn't nothing going on, obviously, because we don't do that. Okay. And yeah, they didn't find anything. So anyway, it's gone. And that's another thing that we're going to work on, getting it back. And I told you, when we start to try to do something, here comes the adversity. But honestly, it's just a lesson, because I learned that what I did wrong, and the step that I missed, right, with the VIN number. Everything else was cool, but it's just that damn VIN number. So, yeah. So now I know what to do next in the future, and we're still gonna work on getting that car back. We're gonna get another car, and we're gonna do the same thing. And even if we do get pulled over, because people like to fuck with other people, I get it. People have go on power trips. I get it. It's not like they're not going to do anything completely. The people who do know and who have been through that and have been sued, they're going to leave you alone. But the other people who don't know and you know, haven't actually been sued for it, they're gonna try to mess with you, you know, especially, you know, if you're of this complexion or darker, right? So, and darker, excuse me, and lighter, whatever. Anyway, so, yeah, that's basically what happened. You know, I'm not tripping. I wasn't really tripping yesterday. I know Bay was tripping, but he's calmed down. He's okay. You know, we're good. We're all good. It's all good. You know, in the hood, right? So we'll be fine. But I just wanted to say that and tell you why I'm in the bathroom today. So anyway, stay tuned. More to come, and I'll see you tomorrow. Be safe, okay? Be safe.